about 3 years now that the AFM has started with the rollout of a game plan, a very special game plan, which implies a strategic mission development in our church. Over the last few months especially, we have received certain strategic questions and concerns about the rollout, and I'll address that shortly. But let me say firstly that we became one church in 1996, structurally one, with one constitution. And in a church of this variety of people, cultures, the diversity that we have learned that it's so important that we do not each one move in its own direction, but that we have a joint vision and mission which can bind us together and promote our precious unity. And indeed, that's what we have found this far, that the game plan has really solidified the people from different cultures and different languages in focusing on this very, very special vision and mission. Now, you may ask the question, and it was asked along the way, why do we use a sport metaphor or an image, talking about a game plan, talking about a team and coaches? Now, there are different reasons for that. In the first place, it's quite biblical. Not only Paul, even the writer of Hebrews, in different places in the Bible, we find that the sports arena and different sports are being used to explain spiritual significance. And indeed it is so that when one talks strategically, for many people who are not acquainted to the terms and are not exposed to the cooperative world, strategic terms may be difficult to understand, and we do not want this strategic development to be difficult and difficult to digest for normal, ordinary, simple people. And that's why we make use of sports metaphors. It's quite common in the cooperative world that sports themes are being used, and that's why we make use of terms like a game plan and being a team and having coaches coaching one another to make it understandable. Obviously, the whole idea of a team also emphasizes our unity. We are playing in the same team, the AFM. Doesn't matter from what side of the country, what culture or language, we're in one team and we've got one common purpose that drives us. And that's very precious to us, and it's so important to find what that real big purpose is. As like in any sports team where a team is involved, eventually it doesn't matter who scores the goal or who scores the try, it's about a team effort. And that's what we want to emphasize very strongly through this metaphor, the issue of a team. Now, regarding the rollout of the game plan, I'm speaking to you specifically as pastor, because you are such a key in the successful rollout process. In the first place, it's important that you as pastor and every pastor as such will really comprehend and understand the essence of the game plan, the importance thereof, the central significance, biblically based significance of the game plan. It's important to understand it. Secondly, it's so important that you not only understand it, but that you will wholeheartedly take ownership of it. And I have no doubt, if you really understand the game plan and what we strive to revive through the game plan, you will embrace this wonderful missional purpose of the church. Now, if you understand the game plan and comprehend the different aspects thereof, the drivers, etc., you will find it quite easy to translate this to your local members, because if it stops with you, it was all in vain. You are the key to unlock the doors to the lives and the hearts of our members. And so we want to emphasize this, that after you've understood it and you've taken ownership, that the next step is that you will take your members, your local church with you. Only when not only the majority, but if possible, every one of the members of the AFM understands it with the same passion and love for God that you do, then we can say our AFM members are truly kingdom agents of God. And that's our final intent with this game plan, that our members be empowered, equipped, impassioned to live Christ as apostolic agents. Now, you may say some of the terms might be foreign and strange to your members. You may come from a context where your people may not be learned or exposed to the cooperative world. Now, we want to say this clearly. You didn't have to take all the terms that we use in the strategic process and just try to explain it to your members in the same terms. You, if you understand it, will have the ability to unpackage the content and repackage it in a way that your members will understand it. Our members are so diverse, our assemblies, our cultural contexts are so diverse that there's not a one size fits all. So that's the challenge to you as pastor. First, to understand it, to embrace it, and then to present it to your members in a way, in language, in idioms, in images that they will comprehend and wholeheartedly take for themselves. Now, there are three main concerns that we have received over the last couple of months from our pastors, and I quickly want to address that. Firstly, you do have some pastors who ask about this new thing, and that's not strange, it's natural, it's normal that you have that resistance to change factor, that people would say, we have tried many things, there were many new things in the past, what new thing is this? Now let me tell you that this one AFM game plan is not really a new thing. It's actually an old thing. Old in the sense, not that it's out of date, but this is part of the real DNA of the AFM, the foundation of the AFM. And I can humbly say to you, having not only studied but written the history of the AFM, these aspects of the game plan contains the essence of what the AFM was all about when it was started, the uniqueness, the significance of the AFM, the reason why we are here, and mainly because of the missional content of our game plan. The AFM exists because God sought a people who He can fill with His Holy Spirit, who are willing to accept the baptism in the Holy Spirit and to become witnesses of Jesus Christ. And that was the most remarkable significance of the early AFM and its members, that every local member was filled with the Holy Spirit, had a love for God and a love for the lost, and were so passionate about sharing their witness with people outside of the church building, on the marketplace, wherever they came. And that's what missional is all about. Getting our members enthusiastic, excited about Jesus, about His love for mankind, and to carry that witness outside the church and the normal church context. So it's not really a new thing. Obviously, the AFM wants to be as contemporary as possible. We want to speak the language of the day. We want to use the images and the idioms of the day. We don't want to be, in that sense, out of step with the modern world. But the principles that we work on and the values that we as a church cherish and the main driving force, our mission, is to be missional. And that's the reason why it's not something new. It's something old that is just being revived. And you are part of this process. The second concern that we have heard from our pastors is the question, what about our own local church's vision and mission? How can you come from a national office or a national leadership and give a vision for the whole church? Will it suit every local church? We have our own. Now let me say this, in the first place, not all our local churches do have a clear mission and vision and strategic plan. That's a reality. But if you do have one, I want to congratulate you. And this is not our intent at all, to bring a vision and mission and strategic process to you and say, scrap your own, leave it beside, and take this one. The reason why I say this is that the AFM's one AFM game plan is such an umbrella vision, and it's so solidly anchored in Jesus' Great Commission that I can hardly think of a local church that has a true biblical mission that does not align with our national mission and strategy. And that's very important to understand. And with my traveling through our church, coming to many assemblies, I'm actually amazed to find out where churches have a mission statement somewhere on their walls or in some way or the other, to what extent this mission and vision statements aligns with our national statement. And I've come across so many pastors who say, we are actually busy with these very things that you are now promoting in the church. It might have been called other names, they might have used other processes, but there's such a great resemblance and alignment between this national vision. And obviously, because our vision statement and our drive comes from Jesus' Great Commission, the one and only Great Commission of the Lord of the Church, Jesus Christ, to go into all the world, make disciples of all people, and baptize them in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. So I dare to say that if you have a strategic plan and a vision and a mission that does not somehow align with the one AFM Games plan, clear strategic explanation, you must really revisit your motives, your intentions, and your strategy, because we can honestly say that we are back to the basics, we are back to the roots as far as this one AFM game plan is concerned. It's biblically anchored and based, and test your own vision to what extent it conforms and underlines this true vision. I want to challenge you as a pastor that you must really revisit your own strategic process. What drives you? What drives your assembly? What is your vision? I've said in the past oftentimes that our missional intent is like the hub of a wheel. There may be many spokes on any wheel, and you may have your own values and drivers and ministries in your church that you consider important, but every spoke must be connected to the hub, or else the wheel is in trouble. And we say the hub of the wheel of the AFM, what we believe for the Church of Jesus Christ, the hub is the Great Commission, that we should become, each one of us, become agents of change, gospel agents, kingdom agents, apostolic agents. And therefore I want to challenge you, test your own strategic plan in your assembly to what the AFM plan concerns. Now, the third concern that we find with our people and pastors are about timelines, which they can oftentimes consider as deadlines. Now let me state it very clearly, that the one AFM game plan is not a quick fix. It's not something that we have ever thought, we will have a great service and it's over. The mission is understood, the game plan is taken ownership of, and there things are rolling. We've realized from the beginning that this is a process, and a long process. But and you must understand that this is not just something that we do for a cosmetic change. This is some thorough, deep-going changes where necessary to have us return to our roots and to our foundation. And in this process, it cannot just be given an undetermined, prolonged process. It must be clearly defined, and there must be timelines. And we want to help you as you process this game plan, take it to your members in your local church. It's always good to work according to guidelines and timelines. But please understand, we do not want to put you in a difficult spot and say this is a deadline. It might take months, it might take years. The challenge is that eventually, not in the too distant future, we will come to a place where your members will be true apostolic agents. So make use of the timelines that we give. Try to stick to it as far as possible. But we want to trust you that you will not, along the way, lose hope, lose courage, and give up. We help you with the timelines to get to the eventual goal, which is a triumphant church where the members are really church and make a difference in their own community and society.